evening, everyone. Hello, Emily. Hello, Eric. How are you? We are live again from the Creeper Gallery in New Hope, Pennsylvania. Hello, Monica, Cindy, Heather, and Carrie. How's everybody doing? Nancy, Kathy, how's it going? Here I am again. Creeper Gallery, New Hope, Pennsylvania. Hello, Karen and Susan and Colleen. How's everyone go? How's everyone doing? So I'm out in the gallery portion of the Creeper Gallery. Hey, Jay, Teresa, Cheryl. For those of you that haven't been here, I'm going to turn my camera around and I'm going to show you this part of the Creeper Gallery here, so get a better idea of what's here. So there's the door. You walk in and you start seeing all of the artwork created by D.L. Marion, Donna Marion, along with Madame Clara. All of their creations are all around us in this area here of the Creeper Gallery. Stuff pretty much in every corner that you see. Lots of things. I mean, every corner, up and down on the walls, there's pretty much stuff everywhere. And again, these are all the creations of Donna Marion and hey, Brendan, and Madame Clara as well. Here's my new favorites over here. Those are cool. I kind of like those. But again, this is kind of a mixture of Madame Clara and Donna Marion stuff all around us here. Madame Clara Curiosities there. But again, Donna made a lot of this stuff here that you see. I was just looking at our newest creation right here. I probably don't do it justice because you can't really see everything that's in there. But we're here for haunted objects. Say hello to my little friend.
Hello, little friend.
Okay. And there it is. The Red Room of the Creeper Gallery, which has all of the haunted objects all around you. Every corner as well in here has haunted objects from different parts of the world, all with different stories, all with different people supposedly attached to them. And we come in to try to either allow them to tell more of their story, to kind of gauge what kind of activity may be attached to them, and just see what they're willing to tell us and see if they need help of any kind. And this is what we do when we come in here week after week, every couple of weeks, however often we're able to come here. So there's the first object there. There's all of our equipment around it, EMF lights, up above, down below, static detectors, yes and no eggs that work by touch, REM pod there as well, which also works by touch, and a proximity sensor. And we're going to use all of this along with spirit boxes and recorders to try to interact and engage with whichever spirits may be attached to these objects and document whatever we find. So having said that.
Okay, ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
So there's two people attached supposedly to these photographs.
Let me show you really quick here. So it looks like kind of a whole family there. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Old frame.
The two that are said to be attached are Sally and Richard Dingay.
Say it again.
Sally and Richard.
Yeah.
Dingay. It's Dingee.
Okay.
Sally Bailey Dingay died July 4th, 1909. They purchased the mansion, which is in this photo right here, in 1883 for $13,370. Fire destroyed the house in 1906. Dr. Richard Dingay, born January 11th, 1829, died October 6th, 1898.
So he was a doctor.
Yes, and he died. He passed away before. No, he passed away. Holy cow. He did. He died before she did. She died 3 years after the house burned down, and he lived. The house was still there when he was there. So this is the obituary of Dr. Dingay, who purchased the estate in 1883. Dr. Richard Dingay died at his residence in Newportville, Bucks County on Thursday, October 6th, after a few weeks of illness of rapid tuberculosis, aged about 70 years. The school children knew the house, the Phantom, and the man, for they were sure of a lift if they could meet Dr. Richard on his rounds. The parents knew him, for no day was too hot or sultry, no night was too bleak or stormy, as to cause him to turn a deaf ear to the cause of the sick and the suffering. The poor and the needy knew him best of all for his skill and ripe experience with theirs, without money and without price. His wife often laughingly observed that the doctor was post particular about making calls on those who could not pay him. After years of hearty service in the cause of humanity, the evening his life was freed from the necessity of caring for the morrow he devoted his time to reading, studying, the enjoyment of his own home. From his door, no wanderer was ever turned unfed. Often have the doctor and his wife filled bounteous plates from their own table, and with their own hands conveyed them to the stranger within their gates. The warm benevolence, a richer gift than the gift itself. The old Phantom is almost worn out. Robert Bonner, the old yellow horse, has outlived his master, but the kindly simplicity, the professional skill, the manly integrity of Dr. Richard will long linger in the minds and hearts of his friends and neighbors. None knew but to love him. None named him but to praise. So this guy he just gave everything. It's called the Barnsley Manor.
So in this picture, do we know who the other people are? That's the doctor, and there's a child.
There's no information.
Yeah. Okay. So they believe that the people attached to this,
Sally and Richard, husband and wife.
Or Sally and Richard.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that right there so you have access to it. But I would assume that's their family, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay.
You want to go first, or you want
Nope.
me to? Let me turn that around.
Tell me when you're ready.
Oh, turn away. I'm just going to turn these lights on.
I have to put this one on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does this one here say? Sally Bailey Dingy purchased mansion. Fire destroyed house in 1906. Dr. Dingy. Okay, just the
So he wasn't alive when the house burnt down. She was. She lived another 3 years before the house burnt. After the house burned down.
October 98. Okay. Doctor, I hope we're saying your name correctly. Dingy, Dingee, Dingy. Never met you before. Let me introduce ourselves to you before we get started here, Doctor. Turn this on as well. Doctor, my name is John. This is Chris with me. What we do is we come here to try to communicate and interact with people that have passed that may still be either channeled in, meaning brought in when we speak to objects that belong to them, in this case a picture of appears to be your family, or that are still kind of attached to it in some way, because again, this was probably very important to your family, probably hung on a wall or above the mantle or something in your home, and I know your home burned down. What we try to do is, again, we try to just to see if you're here. We try to see if you're willing to share any of your life, your experiences, Anything that you know now about what happens after you pass. Not being a doctor, I would hope that maybe you would share that with us. Anything you want to tell us about your family, your home, your career, the people that you helped, anything you or your wife want to share with us, we'd be happy to hear. I do have things around the picture that will kind of help the communication between us. I'm sure these things look unusual to you, but none of these things will hurt you. These lanterns that seem to be of a purplish color, uh, they respond to energy, surges in energy, because people believe it. Again, you're a doctor, maybe you know about science, and people believe that spirits are energy. But when you pass, even though the physical form is gone, the energy remains with a consciousness attached to it in the spirit world, in the afterlife. So these things that we have measure electricity, energy, the glowing, illuminating lights above, and these lanterns as well. The things with the fingers up above your picture that look like this, a V, they respond to static electricity. So if something were to move around them, they're going to turn red and green. Nothing there is going to hurt you. These eggs, we have the word yes and no written on them. One's blue, one's yellow. If you were to tap them with your finger, either one, but gentle tap, you're going to see they twinkle like a star up in the sky. And this gray box here, if you were to move your hand in front of it, up and down, or anywhere near your picture in that area, you're just going to see red glowing lights. But again, nothing here will hurt you. This is a music box. I'm doing that with my fingers, believe it or not. All I have to do is move my fingers around it and I can create glowing different colors and music. So again, these are the things that we use to try to interact with you, because we can't see and hear you or your wife. We will try to hear your voice in different ways. So I know this is going to seem strange. I know maybe back in your time they would do seances or different types of things like that. This is kind of what we use to talk to spirits. I know it doesn't make sense, but we'll try it and see if it works.
Donna did say that only part of the house burned.
Okay.
I mean, that's why you have the photo where the windows are boarded up and stuff.
Okay.
It was brick.
Yeah. So Dr. Or Sally or Mrs. Dingy, I'm going to ask you if you're here and you could hear me. We did see the lights reacting when we initially were setting everything up in that area. We did see they changed from purple to blue, which just tells us that there's somebody in that area. If you could hear me, either of you, and you're present, I'm going to ask you to try to use what energy you can to focus it in and around the photograph that's here next to me. And just try to either stand there or try to move your hand around the picture like I'm doing, just kind of up and downward motion, or try to touch it. And hopefully we can see that, again, something will happen. We're measuring, again, for a doctor, hopefully you understand this, we're measuring a change in the environment. That's what we're doing with all of this equipment. We're just trying to see if we can actually document and measure a change around that photograph. So again, Miss Dingy Sally, if you're here, or Doctor, if you're here, Richard, please, again, just try to focus your energy and move in that area there. Just try really, really hard. Just kind of let us know that you could hear us and that you're present around the photograph.
The other part is how sad that he was a doctor who was such a compassionate, caring individual, and in his 70s he died. He lived to be 70, and he died from tuberculosis.
Yeah, there weren't cures at the ready
Yeah.
back then. So again, we're going to try lots of different ways. Sometimes it does work better just to hear your voice on a recorder, something like a phonograph back in your time, but this is a little different. Maybe that's the best way. We're going to try a lot of different ways, but we did read about your life and the type of person that you are. And I wish there were more doctors like you in the world. I know there are a lot, but the world could use so many more who just, again, care about the destitute and those who aren't as fortunate and privileged. We have a healthcare system now in which, unless you have really good coverage, you may not be getting the medical care and the attention and the medication that you need. And there are people that have gone without food and shelter and things like that. Nobody helps them. Forget about their doctor again, just people in general. Some people don't do that. So there's a lot to be said about your legacy and your life, from what we read. A very honorable man, very giving man. And I wish we had met you when you were alive. And I hope that those around you did appreciate everything that you did and had done for them, because, again, not a lot of people would do that. We've met good doctors. We've met doctors that weren't so great in our lives. We're in our 50s. And people like you, nowadays are rare. And those people were very fortunate to have you in their community. So I thank you for that. What I'm going to try to do first is I just want you to think, and I want you to think of a word or two. And I'm going to hope that it comes out to this little tiny device in my hand. And we're going to kind of start.
You had a blue light go off right above your head.
Really?
Yep.
Here?
Yep.
Are you present, Doctor? Or Mrs. Dingy? Are you here? There was a light that reacted above my head, which meant, again, hopefully someone's trying to focus their energy on the area next to me. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to approach the photo. I'm not going to approach the area in which you're trying to manifest. If you do choose to come towards us, that would be great. But I really do want, the cold is moving from there to here. I feel like a wave coming this way.
Really?
I feel like Armand here and here.
Armand's on.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm psychic.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel a wave coming from
He
that
feels you,
side
Armand.
to me. It's coming from here to here. So again, I want you to just concentrate that energy. Either one of you just focus on being in one area and this being the area around me, okay? So I'm going to turn this box on here. I'm going to give it a second. And I'm going to ask you, either of you, to say anything that's relevant to you or your life, something that we can kind of relate to the information that we have here, or something that you want us to know about you that I haven't said, perhaps. Just think really, really hard, a word or two, and I should be able to read it on this little thing in my hand here. It said, he's coming.
Oh.
So maybe that's what the blue light was, maybe trying.
He was trying to come
but not really
to the forefront.
Able to gather the energy to do that, which I completely understand, because we often try to figure out why some spirits who are on the other side, if it's heaven, they can do things like move things around in the room or show themselves in front, yet others can't seem to figure out how to manipulate that energy or use that energy, enough of it to actually do those things. So maybe, again, this is something new to you. I'm sure we're strangers and you've never heard of anything like this before, but just keep trying, okay? So I'm going to try now. Look at this flashlight in my pocket just rattling around.
And hopefully, being that, I mean, he was a doctor, which means, in his own right, he was a scientist.
That's what I mean.
I'm assuming they wouldn't consider this to be like witchcraft or something bad.
No. I mean, again, we're trying to, again, I don't know if he was a religious man or not, but really the idea behind what we're doing and trying to do is that we're trying to kind of prove that it is possible to interact and talk with spirits, with those who have passed on, by using their objects, either with them being quote unquote attached to them or connected to them, or bringing them in, kind of like a seance or whatever, talking to the object and speaking out loud to the family in hopes that they'll come in and they'll talk to us and just share their lives with us. That's it. No, meaning no disrespect to you or your wife or your family or your children. Not that at all. We're trying to, again, this is an amazing thing for any person to have their life and their legacy, especially one like yours, in which it should be acknowledged and remembered. I think it's really, really, really good for the legacy of a person who did as much as you did and your wife and your children to live on. And with your photograph here, people are going to get this information and they're going to know about you and your family and all that you did for so many out there. So this is part of that. Okay. So let's try.
And I wonder if this is the first time anybody's even trying to speak to them.
I guess since I say that, someone comes by with a car that's like blasting things out there. So let's try Spirit Box first, being that's happening out there. I'm going to put this over here. Okay, Doctor, Mrs. Dingy, Sally. I'm going to try something that may seem a little different to you. This box in front of me here, people believe that spirits, people who have passed, speak at a different frequency. And this box here could tap into different frequencies, radio frequencies. And people believe that spirits, if they can't be heard live in front, like if you're talking, we can't hear you right now, that they may be able to hear them tapping into the different frequencies, which this box can do in theory. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to speak to you as if you were here like I have been. And I want you to answer your wife out loud as if you were here and we're having a conversation through this box here. All right, so we're going to try that. And I'm going to show you what it sounds like. I literally just tested it out there. Why is it working? Okay, strange happenings right off the bat here. You heard me try this out there.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, ready? Hold on. Doctor, can you hear me? It's like, Doctor, can you please say your first name? Please say your first name as loud and clear as you can. What about your wife? Is she here? What is her name? Could she please say her name? I said people. Doctor, what happened to your home? In this picture, there's boards on the window. What happened? Do you know? In this photograph, could you tell me what happened? Do you know what happened? No. I don't know if he knows what happened. It did happen after he passed, right?
Yeah.
Well, he just said no. Doctor,
Yeah, he passed away before.
do you know that there was a fire in your home? So here's what your wife said about you in this obituary. The doctor was post particular about making calls on those who could not pay him. Did you prefer to treat patients who you knew couldn't afford medical care? I'm going to switch to the other box. I'm going to switch to the other box. Doctor, my name is John, and this is Chris. Could you repeat either of our names if you could hear me? Oh, your name, right there. I'm sorry, I missed that. Doctor, how do you pronounce your last name?
What?
I thought I heard Dingy. What was your wife's name, doctor? Where do they live?
The manor.
Where?
That manor.
What? Oh, Bucks County. Where did you live, doctor? Where was this home?
Kathy said Sally was his second wife.
Really? I'm going to switch over just really quick to this box. See if it makes a difference. Let's try this one, doctor. Hold on one second. Can you hear me? I'll ask you again, doctor. What is your first name? I told you. You know that?
Yeah.
Listen, I told you. Doctor, if you said it, I didn't hear it the first time. Could you please repeat it for me? Loud and clear? Doctor, how many years did you practice medicine? Do you know how you passed? What do you remember? What happened to you? Oh, I gotta listen to that again. Now this sound like died. Sound like died.
Yeah.
Do you know what tuberculosis is? My lungs. Oh my God, did you hear that?
My lungs.
My lungs. Wow, that was crazy. Is your wife, Sally, with you now? Are you together with your children in the afterlife? Would you mind if Sally spoke with us? I don't care. Did you hear that? Yeah. I don't care. Sally, are you there? Can you hear me? Mrs. Davis? Oh, she said angel or thank you. That was a female too.
Yep.
I see. When I listen to this back again on the live, I'll be able to hear it. Sally, my name is John. This is Chris.
And the light just lit up behind you.
Did it really?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you both. We're in New Hope, Pennsylvania right now. And oh, look. I don't know if you can see the static.
The static.
See it? Can you see it?
Yep.
Now, I had mentioned that this photograph of your family is going to be sold. And someone will, nope. Someone will put it in their home, and your memory will be kept alive of all the great things you did and the people you helped. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? These lights are like right on me.
Yeah.
Could you? I'm just trying to. That was pretty darn good, though. The lung thing was really, 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 really cool.
Still right there, and there's a cold air.
My lungs.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to try to do now, Doctor and Mrs. Dingy, D-I-N-G, Dingy. It's just steady on that side. You see how that works like a rainbow? I've never seen it just light up 5 lights in a row like that, though, and there's still a couple on the other side that aren't lit. Could you remove your hand from that or step away from that for a second? Would you mind doing that for me? I want to show you something else that probably looks like magic. Watch what I do with my hand. See that? I just did that with my hand by moving my hand in front of that gray thing that looks like a brick. That gray square. I just did that with my hand and see how this stopped with the static as soon as I put my hand there.
Yep.
Could you try to light that circle again, like the rainbow and the brick that I just showed you, just by moving your hand around them? I didn't mean to scare you away or... All right, so I'm going to try an EVP session, and then we're going to move on. Okay, doctor.
Before you start, too, because people were saying, like, can you ask and see if that's their children, if there's any names that, if they can tell you, so.
I mean, as far as the EVPs, I could try that on EVP, but, okay. I'm going to put this down near the picture. Put it right down over there. So again, the way this works, Doctor and Mrs. Dingy, I hope I'm not butchering your name. The way this works is similar to the box here, in that I won't be able to hear it when you're saying it, but I'll be able to hear it on playback, as if a phonograph, like a record player. I'll be able to hear the recording of your voice, not your actual voice when you speak. So I want you to answer, if you can, when I ask the question, and then I'll be able to hear it like on a phonograph, on a playback. Okay? I hope that makes sense.
Before you start, I got to tell you what just happened. Somebody asked if we had the SLS, and I panned up to show them, and when I panned up, everything was blacked out. And then it came back.
On the SLS?
No, on the video. The video was going, it just blacked out.
Okay. So I'm hitting the record button. EVP session with Dr. Richard Dingy, photograph, and his wife Sally and their family. Doctor, again, I thank you for speaking with us, Mrs. Dingy as well. I'm just trying to verify and validate that you are here and that you are listening. So please, could either one of you say your name now? There are more people in the photograph. Could you please tell us the names of any of the other people in the photograph? I'll be more specific. The baby that's in the center of the picture, what is that child's name? Doctor, your legacy is one in which anybody would be proud of. Um, how thoughtful you were, how caring you were, how charitable you were. Is there anything else that wasn't written on that obituary that you would like us to know about you? Sally, Mrs. Dingy, I'll give you the opportunity to say a few words as well. Is there anything that you would like us to know about you? It's my stomach. There was a fire in the home. Does anybody know how that fire was started? Again, as a doctor and a man of science, um, I I think you would understand when we, as people that are still living, would ask if you could please tell us, is there an afterlife or a heaven? I'm going to ask you both. This question is directed towards the both of you. Are you okay with your family photo portrait being in somebody else's home, hung on their wall? What's that?
You got a message from some number.
So here's what I'm going to do with the remaining of the EVP sessions. I'm going to ask the questions, or Chris is going to ask the questions. And then at the end, because we haven't done this before, when I'm finished with my part and you're finished with your part, we'll kind of hold up our hand, and then who's ever watching the phone, if there's questions we see,
We'll ask.
we'll ask from over there that this person who's doing the session will be
Right.
quiet, and that person will ask the 2 or 3 questions that they see. Not a ton of them, just
Yeah.
random questions to pick out. This way we can get them in there as well and involve them.
John, Vicky's asking, is that 4 people and 5 photos, or is that all 5 different people?
There's
We
no way
don't
we would
know.
know that. How would
We
I
have
know that?
no idea
Yeah.
if it's somebody in
Donna,
different
if Donna's
stages
in
of
the
their
room,
life,
Donna could
or
ask that.
Yeah.
I can't answer that.
we have no idea.
It may all be the same person.
At different
say.
stages in their
Yeah.
life, for all we know. We just don't know.
EVP session. EVP session. EVP session. EVP session. Hear me. EVP session. EVP session. EVP session. EVP session with hear me. EVP session with Dr. Richard Thingy. EVP session with Dr. Richard Thingy. Photograph and his photograph. EVP session with Dr. Richard Thingy. Photograph and his wife Sally and their family. Doctor, again, I thank you for speaking with us, Mrs. Dingy as well. I'm just trying to verify and validate that you are here and that you are listening. So please, could either one of you say your name now? Say your name now. There are more people in the photograph. Could you please tell us the names of the photograph? Could you please tell us the names of any of the other people in the photograph? I'll be more specific. The baby that's in the center of the picture. What is that child's name? Doctor, your legacy is one in which anybody would be proud of. How thoughtful you were, how caring you were, how charitable you were. Is there anything else that wasn't written on that obituary that you would like us to know about you? Sally, Mrs. Dingy, I'll give you the opportunity to say a few words as well. Is there anything that you would like us to know about you?
Yes, that was your stomach. That was funny.
David. There was a fire in the home. Does anybody know how that fire was started? again, as a doctor and a man of science, I think you would understand when we, as people that are still living, would ask if you could please tell us, is there an afterlife or a heaven?
It's really faint. I hear there is.
Do you hear wheezing too with it, like when he says it?
I hear there is.
Do you hear that wheezing too? It sounds like wheezing when it said.
I hear that. I hear very, very faint. I hear there is.
I'm going to ask you both. This question is directed towards the both of you. Are you okay with your family photo portrait being in somebody else's home, hung on their wall?
Yeah, we could all hear over here like a labor, like somebody was wheezing, like when your lungs are filled with like you have pneumonia or whatever. So does anybody have any questions that they wanted to ask? I haven't gotten any like what you said after you do this.
I mean, no, I meant like as I'm actually doing the session, I'll stop and I'll put my hand up as if I'm done. And then you could say, okay, I saw this question, ask that one, give it 10
Okay.
seconds, ask the next one. I mean, I'm not going to do another round. Unless now you're going to kind of force me into it.
No, there's none.
Okay.
I haven't seen anybody post a question that they wanted to ask. So
Okay, so.
I mean, Vicky did say, "Can he see John?" I don't know what that means.
Doctor Sally, I do thank you for taking the time. Again, this was sort of a little mixed bag. The lights went a little bit. You said that screen blacked out.
Well, when you asked about if they could tell you any of the names on there, the strip went blue. The lights, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt what you were doing though.
So the static dome and the spirit box did say something about the lungs. So again, that's something I'll listen back to again to pull more out as I hear it.
See, I don't know if you were close to it, but when you heard it is. All right.
I feel like I got a mouthful of smoke. Ooh, that was weird.
We could hear a wheezing with that answer. I mean, it literally sounded like a wheeze from the lungs.
Wow.
All right.
I'm probably catching my breath. Whew. All right. That'll be weird. It's like, you know how you take a breath in, you don't have any breath, you don't feel it. That's what I felt. Like there was nothing. Like I was like trying to breathe in water, you know? All right. So this is going to take pretty involved because we literally, that picture's so big, we had it hanging on the back of a chair and everything. So we're going to have to swap everything out.
Yeah, it's going to take us a minute.
So give me a second. Everything is pretty much a picture today. So I'm going to turn the light on. I'm going to try to move everything as quickly as I can.
Get up here. Takes me a little longer. If you just hand it to me and I'll just put it right back up over here.
You can do that. How do you know that's going to hold on there?
I do, because this is how it's hung. your phone right there for a minute.
Well, it's sort of.
Okay.
See, Chris is keeping you all entertained
Well, I'm trying to get this up.
while I do everything I'm doing here.
Well, I'm not a singer. I'm not a tap dancer. I'm not other than the fact that I can start reading. You know which one you're doing?
All the stuff just fell out of.
There are new stuff. There's this is what we're working on.
Yeah,
Is
this
the
is all
new
new.
stuff that she brought in. Oh, and the lights all just went
Oh,
cuckoo.
that's I
'Cause you
stepped
hit
on
'em.
it, Yeah.
All right. If I'll grab that sheet and I'll start reading it.
Well, you want to show them the picture first?
Yeah. This one's a tough one. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Just watch stepping back.
Okay. And then this is him right here. Hey, Rachel. Yeah, he. I'm gonna tell you the story of this poor guy. That's actually a man who was starving to death in prison. And we actually have this picture of him. He was healthy. This is his diary. He was a private. And then once John's all set up, we'll read the information that's right over there that I showed you that's in the frame. I can't read that. There's actually, I think this is his, I don't know what this is.
The light didn't go off the whole entire time.
It's going off now?
No, it's staying on. It's not resetting. That's fine.
Yeah, prisoner of war, unfortunately.
Okay. Go off. There you go. Okay. Alrighty then. Weird.
Oh, and he lit up the other one too.
Oh, my
Oh,
God,
you
see
guys
that?
see all the lights going off?
I hope you got that. That was literally everything that was next to the picture.
Holy
Everything in that
cow.
corner just went crazy.
So, Verhuis Alfred, age 22 years, enlisted August 5th of 1861 at New York Musters in as private, Company H, August 5th, 1861, to serve 3 years. He enlisted January 1st, 1864, captured May 13th, 1864. So a matter of months, he was captured.
I've got a pain in my left hand.
Are you okay?
It just started.
Andersonville, Georgia. So interesting, this is what the next entry reads. Verhuis Robert C., age 19 years, enlisted August 5th, 1861 at New York, mustered in as private, Company H, August 5th, 1861 to serve 3 years, killed May 6th, 1863 in action at Upperville, VA. So that's 2 people with the same last name. Were they brothers or what?
in a list of the Union soldiers buried at Andersonville, copied from the official records in the surgeon's office at Andersonville, is listed. Number of grave name 5503, Horace A.H. Says 1 Cav, Co H, died August 13th, and it said diarrhea. That's kind of weird. So these are so you got Alfred and it says Robert. So Alfred was 22 years old and Robert was 19 years old. But Alfred starved to death. You could see. And I don't know if they could see this picture. This was him
So
in his
Christopher says
military.
Andersonville prison was the worst of the worst Civil War prison. So that's him, Alfred H. Voorhees.
Yep. Yeah, he's reacting, man. He said, so this is 1864, diary of Alfred H. Voorhees from the time he was taken prisoner until 9 days before his death, which occurred August 13th,
Were you going to do
1864.
this with the lights on?
No. This was transcribed by his sister. That's what's really cool about this. All right, I need that thing to sit on because there's no way I could do this well. No way. Okay, Alfred, I'm just gonna come sit right here and we're gonna try to communicate with you. I know you heard when John was explaining what these things do. You've already figured out that one where you just gotta hit it and it lights up and makes noises. Pretty much everything here does the same thing. If you touch this, this makes music. That's all it does. There's nothing here that can hurt you. See? And then the little V's that are right by that box you figured out, they light up red or green if you go near them. There's this little, right here, if you touch it, see how the colors it lights up? And the lanterns do the same thing. Yeah. Oh, you see this?
Yeah, that's the whole entire box going off.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Alfred. And then we can communicate this way. If you touch the blue egg, it's for yes. Or if you touch the yellow egg, you just tap it and it just says no. And you already figured out the top. I gotta move over the lights in my face. And if you do, even the bottom one's going off. You see that? And those top lights, you've already figured out that they change different colors, the closer your proximity. And if you were to hold on to it with your energy, wow.
That's just movement around the picture.
He's here. I can't imagine what it was like being in prison. Yeah. And just to let you know again, my name is Chris. This is John. We mean you no harm other than to communicate with you and try to understand. You were very, very young when you passed away. Very young. And he is. There's something about that. He loves that. Can you make something else go off just to know that I'm communicating directly with you? I know you have a fascination. It's easier for that because I know it's just so easy. But if you actually passed your hand across anything else, you could actually make it go off. And like I said, if you could touch or tap something, because John and I cannot see you or hear you. We don't have that ability. And I don't know how you see us. But you've passed away. We're alive. We're living. And that we're in the year of 2023, if you're aware of that. A lot of time has passed from the time you passed away. Are you still there? Can you make something else light up just to let us know that you're here? I can't imagine that you purposely starved yourself. I mean, that must have been done to you, or you just were so unhappy that was the worst of the worst, right? So your sister, Rebecca, actually transcribed your diary while you were in prison, just to let everybody know what was happening. It talks about where you came off the mountains when it rained and where you were. I'm not going to get into the whole scope of it. Yep. But it just again, is this
was resonating with you. You're remembering all of that. But it says it goes all the way up until 9 days before you die. So I'm just curious if there was anything here that talks about.
They lost 50 to 100 men a day to starvation, no food or shelter, said Donna.
Oh my God.
What a horrible way to die. Oh my God. I can't imagine.
So he was taken prisoner.
Sound is muffled? Really? That's weird. Better now. That's really strange. If that, they said the sound was muffled for a little while.
What?
Yeah, that never happened
Is that
before.
you doing that, Alfred? Did you create where your energy created where? I'm trying to like figure out if there's. I know that it talks about the weather. He talks about traveling all night in boxcars, no rest for
What's
the
that?
weary. Can't look out of the windows. It is against orders. Rations issued today. Cornbread, bacon, very good. It's warm here. The country looks godforsaken. So this is
My
arriving
hand
at
is in the same place it's always been.
what is?
I said the sound is better now.
Yeah, we haven't done anything.
No, my hand is on the same edge, on the outer edge. Chris doesn't have a microphone.
No, I don't have a microphone. Why? What
I said
did
it was
come
your
from?
microphone. Chris said, we're not a TV show. This is an
No.
iPhone.
But anyways, this just goes like she just wrote down. He talks a lot about the weather. He talks about people, what their day was like for them. Very unhealthy in this place. Quite a number die daily. I don't feel well. Have the diarrhea very bad. More Yanks came in today. Had quite a heavy shower.
What the hell was that?
What?
I thought it was one of the lights, the string lights. Maybe I missed it, but I saw a light. There it is.
There it
Yeah,
is.
it's got to be in the
It's
ceiling.
in the corner.
It's in the corner.
Maybe maybe
The
it's
lights
off to the
keep going off.
side.
Yeah, I keep seeing the light on the ceiling.
So you have a connection to this red light, and we just noticed that. I kind of think that he's like again. You think about being imprisoned. He died of starvation. It was horrible. The conditions they went under. I wonder if he wouldn't be too thrilled about speaking. And did you know your sister Rebecca very well? I mean, she transcribed your diary. The fact that she was able to get it is amazing in itself. But I'm not going to go through all of it. You record some of the things in a few lines about the weather, how hot it was, how dry, when storms came, not having food. He actually sits here and says, and I didn't want to read it out because it's kind of hard, but he talks about how he's getting weaker and weaker, and that he literally can't even raise his hands up to his
I cannot
head.
imagine.
So I'm
Talk
so
about a long,
sorry.
agonizing way to go.
I'm
I mean,
so sorry
there you go.
that happened to you.
all the lights are reacting by the picture again.
So he's buried in the National Cemetery.
Inhumane. That is
Date
the
of
right
death,
word
August
for sure.
13, 1864. Grave number, I think that's 5503. And that's actually what's on that picture right there.
Again,
So somebody made it there. Again, this is documented. You think about the time period.
I want to try to, I'm going to try not to get you, but I'm going to turn the SLS camera more towards that corner.
Okay. I mean, no harm.
I see the light going off in the corner. I want to see if I map anything. Would it be possible for you to move out from behind that cabinet and show yourself? Yeah, I see the light.
Yeah, that's where he's staying. He's staying hidden.
Would you be possible for you to step out so we could see you? We have a camera here that would be able to see you. Would you mind doing that, please, so we could see you?
And not for nothing, Alfred, but this is the picture that I'd like to remember you from. Handsome young man, very handsome young man. And again, what was done to you just because of war is not acceptable. Any of those conditions are not acceptable. Today, it's not like that at all. You don't get treated like that. That's look at how handsome he was. Can you see that?
No,
Look at how
it's
healthy.
total dark.
Well, and I hope that this kind of gets put in that box, so it's not all just the negative stuff that's there. I mean, there's one picture in there of him in his uniform at the bottom. But I'm gonna try something. Because I know you like that box and you're kind of to the side, and I think maybe. What was that?
It was right next to me. It literally felt like someone tapped their knuckle on the floor. I actually felt the floor move.
Like a vibration?
It was right to my right, and I heard it was like, but I can't. It was like a nail more, or like a nail.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it from over here.
It was literally right next to me. There it is again.
There it is again.
Right next to me.
Whoa. Is this you? Are you doing this, Alfred? John, the static. See, I kind of think your energy's a little low, hon. You're trying. I can see that.
Could you tap again, Alfred? If that's you, if that's how you want to answer, just tap once for yes. If it's you,
I do not understand, even in war, disagreements, disputes, how you could watch another human being go through the conditions that someone like Alfred went through, knowing what the outcome.
The atrocities that men have done to men and throughout history is unexplainable. I mean, I don't know how anybody could do the things to people that they do.
You didn't deserve to die that way. None of you did. For whatever reason, whatever your beliefs were, whatever you were fighting for, nobody deserved to die that way and to die young that way. There's no excuse and reason for it. None whatsoever.
Yeah, we still do it today. That's no lie.
Unfortunately, because we don't learn from our mistakes.
Whoa. Whoa. Are you kidding me?
Oh, sugar.
Oh my God. The flashlight literally just came flying off the table where I had it.
I'm assuming,
and then the lights just went off. Did you guys hear that? It hit me right in the foot.
I think Alfred's agreeing. I think he's yeah.
It hit me right in the foot.
It's okay, Alfred. And we get excitable when things happen. But
What was that? Where is it?
Yeah, I get it. It's right there by your. Okay.
Not that one. That's not what hit me. That's been there.
That right there hit you.
The card?
Yes.
Oh.
It literally went up, down,
right
and boom, right into you. That's from the one we did before.
Wow, that literally hit me in the foot. I've never had anything like that happen here before.
What was right over where you got the tapping? And
that was like friggin' poltergeist stuff.
That was again.
I have never ever had something hit me that came off of something like that. Wow, that was crazy.
Think about this for a minute.
Where was that? Was that up here?
No, it was up on that picture up there with that stuff. Right up there. Because I have to attach it later when we're done. Do you see where the picture's hanging in that cardboard piece?
Oh, up there. Okay.
It was literally up there, secure. There's no reason for it to fall.
So it was up there. Yep.
Yeah.
And it came off and it hit me right in the foot.
But think about this. He had no control over what was happening. Couldn't save himself. Couldn't save the people around him. His brothers in arms, right? From the cruelty and the stuff that they were dealing with being prisoners there. Now in death, somebody's speaking to him. There are absolutely no consequences to talking to us or interacting with us at all. I know we got excited about that because, not every day do you get something thrown at you, but we understand. And you can say and do whatever you need to do with what happened to you. I mean, again, we can't comprehend what you went through. We can see the pictures and empathize and be horrified, but we haven't gone through that. I mean, what? We get hungry every once in a while, but we don't starve. We eat. We're healthy. We don't go through that. We're not prisoners. I can't even imagine. So I have a box here that I'm going to turn on, Alfred. And if you project your voice or your thought towards this, we might be able to get a response from you. Anything that you want to say, okay?
It's weird. I hate to attribute things to anything, but my stomach growling one before on the EVP. I actually have cramps now.
And that's exactly what,
It
when you're
could be
starving,
like
you get
a
you go
yeah,
through
like
cramping.
again, I hate to attribute one thing. It's a weird
The
coincidence,
body
maybe,
feeds on itself.
but I mean,
It's
it's
horrible.
really weird how my stomach growled like that, and then now I'm having like cramps.
Are you making John feel what you felt?
Weird. That's
It's
really
okay
weird.
to do that. Oh, John, the static. Okay. It got really cold too. So he's here. He's reacting. He's giving you his response
Yeah, I
to.
mean, I feel horrible for what you went through, and
I actually want to cry.
I feel so bad for what you endured and those who were with you, and
One of many.
I couldn't imagine.
I'm
Very
going to turn
sorry
this
for what
box on,
happened.
Alfred, and like I said before, if you could just project your thought or what you want to say, okay? So I'm just going to turn it on. And anything you want to tell us, whether hungry or angry or hurt or at peace, whatever you want to say, go ahead and say what you need to say. Go ahead and try. It's all right. It's not going to hurt you. We're not going to hurt you. It's too much. It's too much.
You can't really see it, but it's gonna be gone. It's too much.
It's too much. I'm sorry. Can you tell me what's too much, Alfred? Is it the suffering that's too much? Look, he's holding on to that one section right there. See it? That one light? I will try. He's going to try.
I'm still not gonna be able to see it. Yeah, it doesn't focus in.
No. Sometimes I catch it. That's right. Keep trying to go around. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I it's amazing how much strength you have. I'm pretty impressed with you, Alfred.
You should do EVP.
I'm gonna just one more thing. Can you tell us Jesus? Jesus. He said Jesus. So he's with, I think he's trying to tell us he's with God. He's at peace. I'm
You
going
see
to
that
try
one
to
red
do,
light just flash. You guys can see that from here pretty easy. That one red light just flashing, 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 flashing on the static.
that's what he does. He grabs onto one and he just like, okay. So like John said before, I'm going to ask a few questions. And then when I put up my hand, if you guys are asking questions that you want John to ask when I'm done, please put them ahead of time so that John can ask them when I put up my hand and I'm done, okay? So if I haven't asked it and you think I've missed something, you know, exactly. All right. So, Alfred, this is a recorder. I'm going to ask you questions. And like I said, John and I can't hear you or see you. That's why we're using all the stuff that's here, okay? And I'm going to put this down. I'm going to ask you questions and I'm going to wait for you to respond, okay? So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put it right over there and I'm going to start to record first session with Alfred. Alfred, was that you who was trying to make John feel what you felt, starving? Could you tell me, please, Alfred, the name of your sister? Do you know where you were kept as a prisoner?
Alfred, who was your commanding officer when you were captured? Did you pray for death when you were dying in prison? How old were you, Alfred, when you enlisted?
My stomach.
Do you have any idea how many people died while they were in prison with you? How long were you in prison before you passed, Alfred?
Are you still suffering now, Alfred, even in death? Are you at peace now? Are you with Jesus? Is that why you said Jesus? Are you with your family now in the afterlife? Is there anything at all that we can do to help you? And the last question is, do you require last rites? Did you get them?
Thank you, Alfred. How can you go on living and face yourself knowing that you treated another human being that way?
No, but I am cramping. I might have to step out in a bit.
Yeah.
Or that we're going to move on right after the CVP session.
First session with Alfred. Alfred, was that you who was trying to make John feel what you felt, starving? Could you tell me, please, Alfred, the name of your sister? Do you know where you were kept as a prisoner? Alfred, who was your command? Alfred, who was your commanding officer when you were captured?
There's something. He's saying something.
I'll make it out. There's definitely something there. It says something and then two words.
Did you pray for death when you were dying in prison?
Wait, what was the question you asked? I got that response. That we couldn't just make out?
That who was in charge?
Someone said Grant. And I thought I heard Grant stupid.
See?
That's what I thought. Could you rewind that? Someone said, Kathy said Grant. Now I think it does say Grant stupid.
Dying in prison. Did you pray for death when you were
I don't know. Sorry if you can't find it. Can't go all the way back. Kathy said he wrote about Grant in his diary too. Right there. Do it again.
It's right there. Grant stupid.
That's what I hear. Yeah, stupid's definitely clear. And that first one,
Did you
maybe
pray for
Grant.
death when you were dying in prison?
It's like a.
How old were you, Alfred, when Eugene enlisted?
Yeah. Little jump.
Do you have any idea how many people died while they were in prison with you? How long?
I want to go home. I hear from here. I want to go home. I want to go home. I hear
How
from here.
long
Oh my
were
God.
you in prison before you passed,
Oh my
Alfred?
God. That is so horrible. Oh my God. Are you still suffering now, Alfred, even in death? Oh, that's a tough one, man.
He's saying something in the background. I just can't hear it.
Are you at peace now? Now? Are you with Jesus? Is that why you said Jesus? Holy cow. Are you with your family now? Are you? Are you said Jesus? Are you with your family now in the afterlife? Is there anything at all that we can do to help you? Oh my, that was a heavy breath. And the last question is, do you require last rites? Did you get them?
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Alfred.
He breathes right before I said thank you, Alfred.
Thank you, Alfred.
That's enough. Again, that was
Yeah,
more than
we're gonna-
enough.
Did you notice when he specifically wanted us to hear what he was saying, he made that go off
Yeah, there was a light reaction to.
and the beep.
Yeah.
He wanted you to go back and play it. I said something. Don't miss it.
Alfred,
we're so sorry.
thank you so much. I'm so sorry for what you endured. I do hope that you're at peace, and I do hope that you're healthy and that you're with your loved ones, and that again, I don't know what to say, what that must be like, but I would like to think that you're at peace now. And
This is an item that has to absolutely go to someone who has compassion and you know, I could just see like if I were to bring something like this in my house, I think that I would have a glass of water and like a bowl of food or something in front of it all, just for, I know it sounds weird to you, but that's something that I would feel I would need to do for him, you know, just to signify that you'd never have to go hungry ever again and go through that, the starving. And it's just like, that's a tough one.
All right, Alfred, we're gonna put you up and give you a break, and thank you so much for talking to us. I'm probably gonna set this off now. I'm gonna get up on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe
I'll
not.
put the card over there so it doesn't come down and hit me again. Okay, one more to go.
Put this up for you, and it's all yours.
Normally I would have stopped right there, but we did say we would do 3, and we told Donna we would do 3, but boy, that's a tough
That one
one.
was a tough one.
That's a tough one to follow up and come back from and just reset. Some of them are like that, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that one was tough. That one had me all over the place with just feeling. Trying to get this to stand.
All right, last object. Let's turn the light on so we can see it.
I'm gonna have to put something behind it to have it stand. Can you hand me that flashlight? Maybe that flashlight will work.
You think so? I don't know. I don't think that's got any weight to it.
Not heavy weight enough.
Did I expect that? No. You don't know what to expect from any item, Laurel.
No.
There's no way to know. That's why we go in with an open mind and no no preconceived anything. We just go in assuming that hopefully if there's someone there, they're going to interact with us, good, bad, or indifferent. But
Give me 1 second.
you never expect that some of the things that happen.
It's heavy. Give it back.
I'm going to reset that. I'm coming over.
Okay.
All right, one to go. One to go.
Show it real quick before. Okay. So this is the front.
It's a theme night. Hey, we kind of look alike. So I
This is
used to
like
look back
velvet.
before I grew my beard.
And then this is like where you hang it up.
So this one we don't have really a whole lot of information
No, I
or
don't
any
have nothing.
information, right?
Nope.
So
Like
this is
nothing.
again one that Donna asked us to do that we don't have any information for. So we're just kind of see first time out what this person, if they're here, is willing to tell us or give us or anything. But with this one, no guarantees. We have zero information other than he's wearing a uniform. I couldn't tell you where that uniform is from.
It looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah, so Masonic. Okay, that's what from New York. That's a Masonic uniform? Seriously? Okay, and I think they had.
It's got like crossbone things on the bottom.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I don't understand. You ready?
it is very tough, but I mean, again, Victorian. Okay, it's tough when you don't know, but I mean, you never know. Sometimes those are the ones that surprise you and give you everything you need.
We haven't got one hit off of the SOS tonight.
Not yet.
Nope, not yet. Maybe this gentleman will have more.
I'm the one who gets the. I've never had anything thrown at me here. That was the
No,
first
that
time.
was, but you could feel the charge in the air when that happened.
You never
I don't know
had
how to
anything.
explain it.
I mean, literally, you put the picture down and everything around it just went crazy.
Yeah.
And that's how you knew that energy was present.
Yeah, Alfred.
You know?
Alfred has something to say.
Is it still on?
Is it?
Strange. Oh, cool. Okay. Last item. Again, you guys saw the picture. We saw the picture. Donna said from New York, Masonic.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Yep. It's acknowledging. I don't know if you guys see the static fingers up on top there, the green. It's
Okay,
red
so
very
there's a
lightly.
static discharge coming from the photo
Yep.
already. Good evening, sir. Unfortunately, we don't know your name, but I'll tell you ours. My name is John. This is Chris. You may have watched what we were doing with the previous two objects that belong to people. People believe that these objects, pictures, things that belong to people, tend to hold their energy, or that they could kind of come in, their spirit could come in through the object as well. And we try to give people like you, people like them, an opportunity to tell about themselves, about their lives, anything else that they want us to know about them. And in your case, we don't have anything. So hearing your name, attaching your name to that photo, talking about where that photo was taken, why it was taken, about your life, married, children, anything you want to tell us, everything that you want to tell us, we'd be open to hearing, because that photo of you will be, sorry,
Yeah, very lightly.
That photo of you will be in somebody's home along with that frame. And someone will take care of it, and they may try to keep communicating with you and talking to you and keeping your memory alive. And it would be great for us to be able to give them more information about who you were, things about you that, again, along with the photo, I would want people to have that about me. I wouldn't want someone to just have a picture of me and know nothing about me, not even my name. So now is your chance. I know all of these things look strange to you way after your time, but these things are going to react to you being in that area next to your photo. You saw the glowing red and green color over here, right next to your photo. That was just reacting to you being there. Same thing with this circle down the bottom here that is lighting up a single green glowing dot. There's multiple colors like in the rainbow that go all the way around that circle. That if you were to just move your hand like I'm doing, you're going to see them all light up like magic. Then we have eggs. They look like eggs from a chicken, but they're colored. There's a blue one, there's a yellow one. If you were to tap them with your finger, real easy, like that, they're going to twinkle like the stars in the sky, and the words yes and no are going to glow and twinkle and light up. So maybe you could answer questions using those magic eggs there. I've never seen the static pulsate the way it's been doing tonight, which is kind of weird. This here is going to seem really strange. It's a rainbow music box. When I put my hand close to it, like that, see that? Look at all those different colors and music. Just by my hand, like magic. But it's not really magic. It doesn't take anything to do it other than put your hand by it.
Did you see, look at it, mimicked it?
Simple.
It mimicked that when you hit that. Does the static dome mimic the flashing of the light?
So let's just keep doing that. So again, I see the different colors lighting up from the circle. It's good to keep moving your hands, but I'm going to encourage you to either stand next to your picture, maybe take that pose. And we have a camera here as well. We're kind of photographers, believe it or not. And we have our camera set up right here. Doesn't have a big flash bulb attached to it, but we'll be able to see you if you were to stand there and strike a pose like that one. And we're going to try to ask you questions. We're going to try to hear your voice a few different ways. I know it's all going to seem strange, but if you try, at least you may be very surprised by what you hear, your own voice. And the fact that we can't see you and hear you, these things are going to help us do that in kind of a magical way, believe it or not. The uniform you're wearing, was that was that anything to do with the Masons? The frame everything. Were you a Mason, a Freemason? You could touch the light up rainbow circle or just wave your hands in that area. I've been to a Masonic lodge 2 times, and I do know it's very secretive and that they sit in a big rectangle and that they have kind of that altar up in the front area there. And we've spoken with Masons, so I have a little bit of familiarity with Masons, but not a whole lot. I don't know exactly what it means to be a Mason. But again, that uniform is that military? It's really, really hard to tell what that uniform is that you're wearing. I mean, you look to be, like Chris said, about 30-ish, late 20s maybe. This is going to be a tough one in that I really think, again, the age of the photograph,
Yeah.
I think we're really going to have to rely on strictly EVP and maybe
Spirit
Box
Box,
because that minimal equipment interaction, I'm going to keep encouraging you because we can't see you and hear you to just try with all of your energy, wherever you are. I want you to focus all of your energy into your picture and the area around your photo.
I mean, he cut a striking figure in his uniform.
That's very proud.
Yeah.
I mean, to hold that pose too for a
Oh,
while.
yeah. And just like.
Must have taken some doing. So I'm going to, again, encourage you to focus all the energy that you have and your movement right to this area right here around your photo. Okay? And you're going to just see rainbow colors all around. Nothing there will hurt you, won't hurt me, I promise. Okay? So let's start with the Spirit Box and let's go from there. I mean, we got about 20 minutes, half hour. I want you to try to just speak out loud. When we ask you questions, Chris and I, just answer them. And you're going to hear them come out of this box right here that I'm tapping on. Believe it or not. I know, very, very strange to you, but try it, see if it works. And if you like doing it, we'll continue doing it. Okay? But at least just try. When I ask a question or anything you want to say, just say it out loud. Okay? Sir, could you please tell us your first name? First name only. What is your first name?
Is it Eric? No.
First name. Loud and clear. Mine is John. Hers is Chris. What's yours? Concentrate. Loud and clear. Say it. We're going to do this one word at a time. Starting with your first. Richard? My recorder. I hope I didn't miss that.
It did sound like,
Oh.
and the light just lit up too.
I saw that.
It did sound like
I
Richard.
think there was a Richard. Again, I can listen back on the live stream.
Donna said 19th century Masonic.
I hate to ask you, but I'm going to ask you to repeat your first name again. We thought we heard Richard, and then the lights went up. I'm sorry to ask again. Just please try to confirm your first name only. See, that was close again. So let's go with Richard. Now let's have your last name. What's your last name? See, See, that was one again I got to listen back to. Wasn't real clear. I'm going to listen back to see if I can hear it. I heard Richard something. Could you say both names clearly? Try really, really hard. Look. You were part of an organization. What was that organization called? That group that you were part of? That exclusive group? The free what? I really want to give people information about you. We always start with the name. See, I thought that was I'm rich. I'm rich. And I thought I heard Richard initially. So let's assume Richard. Last name. One more time. Loud and clear. See how it's not real clear coming through on our end? What is your last name? Let's listen back to all of that again to see if I can get it. What is that uniform you're wearing? What is it? Nothing clear. Is that attached to the Masons or is that military? I don't know if that was Masons. There's nothing clear. And this is going to take me listen back into all of this. I'm going to hold on to that picture, okay? Because sometimes it helps when you can use energy, when you can borrow energy. If you don't want me to do that, light up the lights like you did before. Show your energy here if you don't want me to do that. If I shouldn't pick it up. I don't want to offend you in any way. So I'm going to go back like I did before. Instead, I'm going to go back to the other spirit box.
Some people said they thought it was Richard Murphy, and Christopher said Richard Martin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just try this one really, really quick, the different spirit box, to see if there's any difference whatsoever. I'm really sorry to ask again, sir. This is a different type of box. Could you, again, repeat your first name and last name? First name, please. I'm John, and you are? See, that sounds like Martin.
Yeah,
I'm Martin. So is that the last name? Are you Richard Martin? That was really clear. I'm Martin. Are you Rich or Richard Martin? Please say your first name. That sounds like you're not listening. I am listening. I'm just not hearing your first name clearly. One more time. Oh, I could try CVP.
Yeah.
If I get Richard on a live voice, that would be much better.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna try one thing else, okay? With this little box right here. This box can actually hear your voice. It won't be distorted radio. It'll be what you actually sound like you and I talking. Okay. So I'm gonna put this over here by your photo there, and we're gonna ask some more questions. And please just answer out loud. I hate to be repetitive. Trust me, I do. But I am trying to add a name to the photo, which I think is very important. So please tell me your first name only. Now, I'm going to ask again for also your last name. We thought we heard Martin or something. What is your last name? Please say it as clear as you can. Now, why was that photo taken? I thank you for that. I was actually recording and I shut it off. Could you please step away from that for a minute, please? Just step off to the side. I appreciate you doing that. I was trying to hear your voice, and then you figured out how to play the music box there. Please step to the side, please. We could use that to talk. I have no problem with that. Please step away from it for 1 second. Can you do that? You're not going to do that, are you? Just step away. I'm going to pick up the picture. Thank you.
Whoa!
What?
The lights above you, they went like green,
All right,
blue, yellow.
Let me listen back real quick before I ask any more questions.
Thank you.
Wow, here you go. You figured it out. Good. Thank you for that. Hopefully we're hitting on your name, because I want nothing more than to give that photo the proper name, first name, last name, to put everything with it, to remember you.
Yeah. Vicky said it best. Help us to tell your story.
I hate to be repetitive. Trust me, I do. But I am trying to add a name to the photo, which I think is very important. So please tell me your first name only. I think I hear I won't. It's right after the think I hear I won't. Now, I'm going to ask again for also your last name. We thought we heard Martin or something. What is your last name? Please say it as clear as you can. You said something 3 times. Like, I can't make it up though. Right there, it's like, it says it 3 times though. As clear as you can. Listen.
Yeah.
I can't tell what he's saying though. Again, he did it. And then the REM pod went off. Now, why was that photo taken? Taken. What? Taken. Oh, what the hell? I was taken. It's not like it was taken. Why was that photo taken? Photo taken. That photo taken. I was taken. And then the REM pod went. I'm gonna try one more because that was really, really strange. Notice the REM pod hasn't gone off at all.
Nope.
Again. What's that noise? Did he come on? Did you shut it off?
I didn't touch anything.
I'll shut it off. That's going to kill us. Yeah. That one just kicked on for the first time, too. Isn't it funny how that didn't kick on the whole entire time? Weird. All right, one more EVP session. Let's see if we can get something clear out of you, my friend.
So a question was, what was his positions in the Masons?
You got to ask, though. I'm not asking
Okay.
this. I'm going to ask a few more, though, because I really only got to ask 2. All right, we're going to try one more time here, okay? This is the last time I'm going to ask you. I promise. You interrupted with the music box there. I did hear very low responses, but I want you to talk out loud, louder, okay, if it's at all possible for you. One more time. First name only. What is your first name? One more time. What is your last name? Were you part of the Freemasons? The uniform you're wearing, what does it represent? How old were you in that picture? Did you have a family?
What was your position in the Masons? Were you in uniform to take your oath? What was your title?
And that REM pod just going off. It's like, why? Why that brief interaction, light flash, and then
Yeah, for whatever reason.
it's so weird. Yeah, we're gonna try one more time here, okay? This is the last time I'm gonna ask you. I promise. You interrupted with the music box there. I did hear very low responses, but I want you to talk out loud, louder, okay? If it's at all possible for you. One more time. First name only. What is your first name? What? Name. What? Name. What? Is your first name? Your first name.
Why does it sound like Richard to me?
Really?
Yes.
Name only.
It does.
What is your first name? Oh, shoot. There might be a last name in there too. I'm gonna set that off. I don't know if it's the bowler. Maybe I don't know. Just what he confirmed the Richard part. One more time. What is your last name? Were you part of the Freemasons?
What's all that movement?
A lot of creaking. The uniform you're wearing, what does it represent? how old were you in that picture? Did you have a family?
What was your position in the Masons?
What's up?
Yeah.
That's creepy. It goes.
Were,
That's creepy. That's creepy. It goes.
were you in uniform to take your oath? What was your title?
Wow.
Oh, that whistle was bad.
Wow.
That was like literally. I
Yeah.
can't whistle that great, but it was literally two whistles. Like, okay, we're gonna finish here. You did figure out the music box there, which I greatly appreciate.
People said they heard no.
Really for what?
Yeah. When you asked, oh my God, I forgot. I just had it in my brain.
Okay.
If you guys remember the question he asked when you guys heard no, I had it and it just poof like a poof.
The Mason?
Yeah, somebody Mason.
Freemason? There
Yeah.
might have been a no there because I thought I might have heard it as well. We're assuming that your name is Richard. Last name, I need to listen back to all of this stuff to really filter it and slow it down and enhance it in some places. But I do think there was a first name.
Oh,
Bingo.
see, yeah.
See?
When
See?
they said they heard no when I said, were you in uniform to take your oath?
Oh. But
Thank you,
his
guys.
first name is right. That I
Yeah.
think we're getting confirmation on. So you may have answered the last name as well during that same question. So I'm going to listen back to that. I could hear it again. So I'll do the best that I can to be able to write that name down to tell your story, like they said. Okay. We're going to work on this. I promise. We're going to work on filling in as much as your history that we can and making sure people know the story of that person in the picture.
And we do understand that when it comes to the Masons, there are some things that you can't reveal and we won't ask you to.
Oh, not his name.
We're just going to ask you basic stuff.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for figuring out that music box there. And Richard, I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again as we listen back to everything that we did here and get some more information. We'll be asking you even more things. And hopefully the next time, you'll be willing to share some more with us. And we will fill out that card just like everybody else has one. We'll have one for you as well. Okay, Richard?
They're asking if you'll hold that up and let them see the picture closer again. Here.
You want to hit the light? Oh,
Yeah,
the light.
I'll get that to you and I'll get the light. Got it?
Get it. I'm going to need your flashlight. There he is.
There's a figure standing next to you. We haven't had a friggin' figure the whole bloody night and one pops up next to you.
Sure it's not me.
It's not you. I see your legs and everything just fine and it's standing off to the side of you.
I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful frame too.
And it moved. As soon as you moved, it went away.
Okay. Turn this around.
And now it's in front of you, directly in front of you.
You sure it's not me?
It's not you. And then as soon as you move, it goes
It would
poop.
have been me.
It stood literally. You could see your figure perfectly. and it was standing right next to you both times.
All right, let me.
Wow. So you got something thrown at you tonight, John.
That's it, guys. Interesting night to say the least. It always is when we come here. Again, lots more here than just the haunted objects. If you go into the front where we were, so many cool pieces of art and creations by Donna Marion, the owner, as well as Madame Clara. I definitely, if you could get here, check out all the cool stuff. Meet Donna, meet John Shea. Come check out the Red Room, of course. This is where all this stuff is, and you get a vibe when you're in here, regardless. Even if you're not in front of the objects or have them out in the open, you get a vibe, and each one's different. Each has a story to tell, and each has a different person that may be connected to it. But appreciate you watching, as usual. This is what, 2-3 nights in a row for us, so we're done for a little while. Want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
See you soon, guys. Take care.